Hello and welcome to another action figure review. Today we're taking a look at the McFarlane Doom Slayer figure. I've wanted a Doom guy figure for so long, and if they go back and release like a figure based on the original Doom guy, I'd probably just keep that one and not this one. I mean, Doom Slayer is cool and all, but he's not the original design. Still, this is what we have right now and it's pretty awesome. And I'm glad it's a different company instead of the people who make Funko Pops who decided to make the Fallout and Skyrim figures, which were okay for what they were, but yeah, they had a lot of problems. So I'm glad a new company is making id software-based stuff. I hope this sells well. There's a different colored version of this that's just come out like all like chrome or bronze type, like a statue metallic coloring. And hopefully we can get like a Wolfenstein figure, or perhaps some of the demon figures, maybe Imp or some of the zombie men. That would be really awesome. Don't really need a Cyber Demon because that'd probably be too big, but a Hell Knight would be really cool too. So how well does this figure fare with other figures that I've reviewed on this channel? Well, let's take a closer look. As this is the first time I'm taking a look at a McFarlane action figure, we're just going to go through the box just a little bit. On top here we have a plastic hook thingy, and at the bottom there's a bit of tape there. There was tape on both sides of this, and see on the side more of the Doom guy. On the back just another picture of Doom guy because, well, they don't have any other figures for this lineup yet. Although I would like them to make just maybe the Cyber Demon. Maybe it'll be a bit too big. They can like reduce the size of it just a little bit. Well, you know, not making it too small. So pull the Doom guy out. I'll have a red cardboard tray here, and it seems that they've snuck in a stand on the back. So as you can see here, it's got a little peg for the bottom of the feet, just as Doom. Copyright thing, my background's falling off, that's annoying. But yeah, it's just got sort of stuck in there. Would have preferred it if they just, like, I don't know, taped that plate to the back of this tray or something. Originally opening this up for the first time, got all these plastic tabs there, these slightly rubber bandy tabs that just tie around the arms, the legs, and the stomach area, so that's very annoying. Also one tying up this little shoulder cannon, so that was very irritating. And you see here, there's absolutely no need for it. Seriously, companies save plastic by not doing tabs like these. They're utterly pointless and worthless. They're waste of money, waste of materials, resources, and if people chuck these in the bin, that's more plastic in the ocean. Seriously, American companies, you don't need to tie things in. If you must tie them down, use actual regular ties so that we can actually use them. Like, so we don't buy them from the stationery store or something. That'd be nice. So push this out. And push this out, and of course Doom guy also come out. I mean, look how secure that is, even without the ties. So in terms of size, he stands just about 19 centimeters tall. That's pretty big for a figure. And for comparison, here's a SH Figuarts Realbone DN. This is the Mafex Aquaman. And here is the Butt Godzilla. So I know he is the Doom Slayer and all, and he's, you know, meant to be a big guy, but still, if you compare him to any of these supposedly 1/12 scale figures, he's not the right scale. I think he's like one scale up. Maybe he's 110 scale. Maybe I mean, because you know, Mafex is already bigger than SH Figuarts, and then he's even bigger. And you know, the Ninja Turtles, for example, they've NECA Ninja Turtles, movie Turtles fit closer to Mafex, so he's bigger than the Turtles, which they could sort of work because some say the Turtles are a little bit shorter than your average human being. So yeah, maybe. The other Bethesda figures, like the Fallout ones I reviewed, those are way smaller than this. The Fallout stuff is closer to the Mafex scale, and one of them being a power armor and such. That power armor really should be his size, like at least, or bigger than him. So yeah, so I guess McFarlane toys are just in their own scale. He would fit quite well with the NECA aliens, just because the alien figures, they're not necessarily in a particular size. They can get away with being with something slightly bigger or smaller, so he would fit well with those. And I just mean the xenomorphs, not the human characters, because the human characters are getting closer to Mafex scale than this, so they're going to look a bit smaller. In terms of accessories, you have his little arm claw thing, kind of like Assassin's Creed So this one just goes underneath here. There's a little extra bump, so I'm just going to plug that in here, and we're going to take a closer look at it, you know, when we go through the details of the figure. But this one, you see, it's still wobbling all over the place, so that's as far as it will go. Okay then, and we have his super shotgun, so just going to zoom in on that. Let's see. This is nice and painted, got some black on the silver and the brown, and some gold on the end there. This one's not detachable, so this is just like its own like one piece thing. It looks okay. It doesn't have any like weathering on it. It's pretty clean, and if you see my videos a lot, you know I'm pretty okay with that. I prefer to imagine the damage or the rust or whatever, and it just sort of slides into his hands like that. And that's it for accessories. He really doesn't have any, almost. So, alright, let's just start off with his head details. So we got our black shiny piece of plastic for his visor there. You're not going to see inside, it's not transparent enough. And let's see, his neck is a double joint, but there's no actual neck in there. You see, it's just sort of hollow. It's just a ball peg system. So because his head can do a lot of forward tilting, but then under certain angles you see he's got no neck. See, rotating is a bit stiff, but it works. So that's cool. He can also look quite far up. See that tiny peg in there. That's okay, I guess, for the, you know, the price of this figure. Before I move on to the rest of the body, this shoulder cannon thing, it's on a little ball peg on the end, and you can sort of move it out the way, like so. Like so. Well, that's cool. I prefer him without this shoulder cannon thing. I don't remember using it that much in the Doom game. I did complete it, but I was mostly just using regular guns. Come to think of it, I don't have any memory of a shoulder cannon in the 2016 Doom game. Oh well. So anyway, so these shoulder pads here, they're also on the same, like a ball peg thingy. That's cool. So move back to the torso now. This orange patch is probably the worst painted part of this figure. You can see here it's just a flat orange. It looks very toyetic, and just with a little bit of a dry brush silver on top for the armor effect, and otherwise that's it. Everything else looks much better than that patch. Just going through here, you see the greens all look pretty good, and the rusted or dirt metal all look pretty good as well. Let's see, and that's basically his main colors. You go back up here, you can see a little bit of his arms showing through. There's the the veins and stuff are molded on there. You get some of the skin coloring is okay. So I really like the rusted texture on all of the brown areas, and the green is not too rusted because that's a bit painted. So I like that a lot. I can definitely see people buying a few more of these and repainting the greens into blues or reds. Those would look quite awesome. Or maybe like a shadow version, just all black with hints of other colors. That'd be nice. You know, this helmet from the side kind of reminds me of the green Power Ranger or Zoo Ranger green. Yep. So yes, overall the look of this figure is pretty nice. And by the way, the whole pegs at the bottom of the feet. So in terms of articulation though, you can already hear it. That's ouch. That was, yeah, that's bad. So but because of the cold weather, does that do something to the plastic? I don't know. So as we mentioned, he's got a double peg head for the head there. These shoulder pads, they're on their little hinges, ball hinges, away from the arm, so they can move out the way. They move quite well as well. Especially that one, that moves really far up. Whee, like little flappy wings. So yes, so let's move out of the way, and then the arm articulation. Okay, there is a extended peg and swivel joint in there, but you see, because the bulkiness of him, he can't move that much. That's as far as his arms will go up. And then if I move his arms, rotate it up. See that? Yeah, and because it's just a double peg system, he can rotate his arms just a little bit. Elbows only go up so far. Again, they didn't cut up the armor enough. There's no double joint system. And you can sort of, on this side, you can see the peg for the arm joint, but this one is covered up by the armor, so that's like an extra bit glued on or something. There is a click to it, but it's so stiff, I don't think they need the click anyway. See, torso, we got the double joints there, just like an SH Figuarts would, but again, they didn't shape this well enough for the joints to actually work that well. So he can sort of move back a little bit and move forward, it just gets in the way. Sideways, quite a lot. Sideways, quite a lot. So. Right, to the legs. Oh, I hate the sound. That one's basically just a ball joint in there, nothing else. I can't even rotate his legs just a little bit there. Knees, really stiff. Again, it's just a single joint. You can see the peg there on one side, on both sides actually. As far as it will go, 45-ish degrees. And then we can do a sort of rider kick pose. There we go. And his feet are also on a peg and swivel, but again, all of this stuff just gets in the way. We'll take his feet just a little bit. Can I tilt his feet? Because that's going to really affect standing a figure like these. No, it doesn't really tilt. It can tilt outwards a little bit, but not really this way. You can move forward a bit, back a bit. This guy is so stiff. And if you want him to like hold the gun with two hands, you can forget about it because he just doesn't have the joints for it. So one on each. And oh yes, the hand is a little peg and swivel, but again, everything just gets in the way. So I can rotate his hand and move down up just a little bit. Yeah, just really stiff figure. Joint here, this rotates. Great, guys, but the arm one doesn't, so okay. So there you go. Overall, the figure is definitely on the stiff side, and that's frustrating because at the end of the day, this is still an action figure. It needs to be posable, to be in different action shots, action scenes, and do more extreme stuff. This is so limited and frustrating, and I hope future figures from them can improve on this aspect. So in terms of the plastic and more the detail, the suit design looks excellent. I love all the different layers, little tubes, little bits, and technology all over the suit. Looks great. Paint job, pretty decent. Not the best, but it gets the job done. The overall dirt look and the dry brushing definitely hides a lot of not so good painted details, but overall this thing looks excellent on the shelf, and it's only really that I'm looking at it right close up that where I see these problems. So you could say I'm nitpicking. I'm personally not quite sure about the scale that this is. It's, you know, a different scale from NECA, different scale from like FlicKr or MFX or some other Japanese figures, or a different scale to Hasbro and stuff. And I think it might be closer to Marvel Select because those tend to be a bit bigger, if I'm not mistaken. I've only, you know, seen them in pictures and compared in other videos, so I'm not too sure how big a Marvel Select thing actually is, but I think they tend to be a bit on the bigger side, so maybe this Doom guy will fit alongside those. Overall, for the price that I paid for this figure, I am quite happy with it. And I look forward to them doing more stuff from the id Software lineup. That would be really cool. But if all we get is just this one figure, well, I'm still satisfied. As always, you can support or help this channel by clicking the thumbs up button or thumbs down button if you don't like this figure at all. Maybe leave a comment below how you feel about this figure, and as always, you can also support this channel by sharing this video with other people that will find this interesting, watching my videos with ad block turned off, or heading over to Patreon, some minor perks over there. As always, take care, have a nice day, and I can't wait for Doom Eternal. Please, Bethesda, don't mess this up like you did with Fallout.